Good morning and welcome to the Policy Learning Platform Meetup with the project. This event is dedicated to the Interreg Europe program, to the projects that are approved, to the project partners and all organizations that are involved in the Interreg Europe project. As you already heard from the title, it's event about the policy learning platform. So today in the upcoming 1 hour and a half, you will learn what are the policy learning platform services and how you as the project partner can benefit from this. You also hear in the title that it's a meetup with the projects and the policy learning platform. And when we are meeting, it's important that there is some opportunities for networking. So this is what we will offer to you as well today. I can see that many of you are connecting now and some of you have already your cameras on. I would like to invite everyone to turn your cameras on. And as this meeting is not in person, it's happening online, it's very nice for us to see who is behind the screen so that we create this sense of community. So please do not hesitate to turn your cameras on and wave me. I would be really glad to see your faces. I can see that our experts and Joint Secretariat, my colleagues, are ready. You can see our experts having a very colorful background, the Joint Secretariat having the white background behind them. And it's also very nice to see you all participants connecting. In the Interreg Europe's family, we call family of projects, we have now 150 projects running. In the registration, we saw that 127 projects were registered to join this online event. So it's really, we can call it a community event. We are really glad that out of 150 projects, there were 78 projects that started to run this year. And as the third call just closed, there will be also some projects joining us also next year, the program. My name is Irma Strauskaitė-Deny. I am head of communication unit and I will be moderating this event today. So a warm welcome to the ones who joined us a little bit later. A warm welcome to join the Policy Learning Platform meetup with the project. Let's have a look maybe already now what is on agenda for us today. We will be spending together 2 hours from 10 till 12, and we will look into what is the state of role of the program. We will look into what are the policy learning platform services and rationale. We will see how the projects can contribute and what are the benefits, because you know that the program consists of 2 pillars, the project and the policy learning platform. We will also have some time to answer to your questions and introduce you to our excellent and great team of the policy learning platform. And you will have also a time to discuss between yourselves in the groups, to meet other projects that work on the different subjects, to meet our experts that already did a lot of work, thematic work, capitalizing the knowledge from the projects. And we will end up our webinar with a wrap up or conclusion and Q&A for the and main takeaways. This webinar we run on Zoom, so I think most of you are used to this platform. The ones who are not, just a quick reminder that at the bottom of your screen, you can see the participants list. You can see the chat. If you have any technical questions or some generic comments, you can leave those comments in the chat. This is where also my colleagues from communication team will be sharing important links you need to know related to this webinar. And during the day, we will be also launching different polls so that we know also, we get the feedback from you. And by the way, on this, we can launch maybe the first poll to see how familiar you are with the policy learning platform services. In the meantime, I will continue to present you all the technical details related to this webinar. So now you already know where you can find the list of the participants. You know that there is a chat available. You also need to know how to ask the questions, because an important part of this event is a possibility to ask the questions and get your questions answered. And for this, we prepared a Slido. We will be using Slido with the hashtag policy learning. You head to the slido.com, you enter policy learning, and you will be at the dedicated event of ours where you can submit your questions related to the policy learning platform. So once you're listening to all the presentations of today, do not, and in case you have questions, you can immediately submit those questions via the Slido. This morning, our director really wanted to join our webinar. Unfortunately, he could not because he is traveling and stuck in the airport, but he asked me to pass best greetings to all of you. And he really wanted to say a big thank you. Do you know what is the big thank you for? The big thank you is to all of you who took the new partners from the new countries on board. The program extension was a very important for our program. And as you all know, from the beginning of the year till now, you had an opportunity to take the new partners from the new countries on board and extend your partnership. And we are really, really great that you were all really active to take this opportunity on board, and more than 30% of all the projects decided to extend this partnership. So our director really wanted to thank you for all of you who did that, and for on behalf of our program management bodies, on behalf of our monitoring committee, who were eager to extend the program beyond the European countries, beyond Norway and Switzerland, the countries that are in the program since very, very long time ago. I think we can see now, we can have a look to the results of the poll, and I can see that there were 3 answers for you to choose: that you know a lot about the policy learning platform, you know a little bit about the policy project, and you don't know that much. We can see that 17% of you say that you know, and it's great that we have very experienced ones, probably coming from the first call project, that already benefited from the services. We can also see that 30% of you know a little bit, and about 50%, so half of you, do not know much about the policy learning platform. And this is indeed the reason why we have this event, so that you, the ones who know a lot, can share their experience. The ones who know a little bit and the ones who do not know much really learn on what opportunities the policy learning platform can offer. With this information, as now you know what is expecting you in the upcoming 2 hours, we can then go to the first speaker for today, and it will be my colleague, my dear colleague Hassan Martinez, who is a coordinator and is in charge of coordinator for the project, and he is there with me in the studio. Hello, Hassan.
Hello, Irma. Hello, everyone. Good morning.
Hello, Hassan. I leave our online participants with you so that you can present us the brief insights about the program state play, and also explain the overall logic of the program to everyone.
Okay, thank you, Irma. So it's hello from my side. It's so nice to start the week with all of you, with the projects of the first and second call, as well with the colleagues of the Policy Learning Platform. My role in this first presentation will be to give you a little bit of the rationale and the state of play of Interreg Europe. As you know, we usually meet only with the lead partners, following the lead partner principle. We thought that this event was a good opportunity also for the rest of the partners in the projects to know a little bit more about the policy learning platform. And this is why we are also giving you a little bit of a short information about the Interreg Europe program. So as you know, we are within the cohesion policy. The cohesion policy in the European Union is the main investment policy, which is there. It aims to correct the imbalances between countries and regions, delivering on the union's political priorities, in particular the green and digital transition. You know that the cohesion policy represents 1/3 of the European budget, with almost 400 billion euros. But the cohesion policy is not only a policy on investment, it's also a policy that promotes cooperation between cities and regions in order to help with their socioeconomic development. And as part of this cooperation, what we know as European territorial cooperation, we have the Interreg programs. So you can see in the slides that the European territorial cooperation, Interreg, is organized under 4 strands. We have the cross-border cooperation with the biggest amount of programs, a total of 64, all along land and maritime borders in the European Union. We also have the transnational cooperation, strand B, including macro regions and sea basins. We have the strand D, connecting outermost regions. This is new in this current programming period. And we also have the interregional cooperation, strand C, where Interreg Europe is included together with URBACT, Interact, and ESPON. As you can see in the slide, we have a total budget of almost also 400 million euros, which is quite small if we compare it with the big amount of funding in the cohesion policy that comes through the European Regional Development Fund, the Cohesion Fund, the European Social Fund, and the Just Transition Fund. So in the next slide, you can see a little bit the rationale of Interreg Europe. We are there to improve regional development policies through the identification, exchange, and transfer of good practices. Because we are talking about regional development policies, this program is mainly dedicated to local and regional authorities. And it's about capacity building. It's about exchange of experience. And in this, we are a little bit different from other Interreg programs that they focus more on investment. So if we move to the next slide, you can also see that the eligible area, Interreg Europe, is the only program that will allow you to cooperate with any country in Europe. And as Irma was mentioning, since January of this year, we have the chance, the opportunity to also have 7 new candidate countries as part of the cooperation. You can see there in the list that we have then all the countries in the European Union, plus Albania, Bosnia-Herzegovina, Moldova, Montenegro, North Macedonia, Norway, Serbia, Switzerland, and Ukraine. So 36 countries in total, which allows you to work with countries from the east, from the north, from the west, and from the south. We cover all topics of the cohesion policy, so smarter Europe with research and innovation, SME competitiveness, greener Europe, better connected, more social, closer to citizens, but also governance. Today, our experts in the PLP will explain you a little bit more about these topics. And in the next slide, we can see also the main 2 actions that the program includes. The first one is the projects, you that are here today, so numerous, which is, a limited number of regions working together to solve a territorial challenge through exchange of experience, learning from each other. But we also have the policy learning platform, our second action, that what it takes is to take the results that come from the projects and further exploits these results to any other organization or region in Europe that might not be involved in projects, so making these results available to all. In the next slide, you see a little bit the state of play. As of today, we have launched already 2 calls. Today, you are here from the first and second call. First call, we have a total of 72 approved projects that started cooperation a little bit more than 1 year ago. And the second call, which started just the last month of April with also 78 projects, which, as Irma was mentioning, we have a total of 150 projects with more than 200 million euros allocated already from our budget. So there is more than 60% of the Interreg Europe budget allocated to projects already in the first and second call. If you can also in the next slide see, we have almost 1,500 organizations from all over Europe, 28 out of 29 partner states represented in the cooperation. And you can see in the pie chart that the biggest amount of projects are under the green priority, followed by smart and social, but we have projects in all policy objectives of the program. So when we see in the next slide in the graph about the countries represented and the regions, already with the first and second call, we have 78% of the NATS2 regions represented in the cooperation in the 150 projects, with, you can see, the biggest amount of partner organizations coming from Spain, Italy, Poland, and Finland, but with representation of all the countries at the moment, except of Switzerland. And finally, as you know, in Antwerp, as Irma was mentioning, this year was very important with the enlargement of the program to the 7 new candidate countries. We opened in Antwerp during our annual event a restricted call. So for the first and second call projects, for you to have the opportunity to open up your partnership and involve organizations from these 7 new countries. We are really happy with the numbers of this restricted call. Almost, as Irma was explaining, 1/3 of the projects open up their partnership to these new organizations. We have almost 80 organizations coming with all 7 new candidate countries. And also in parallel, we opened the third call, which also is the first time that it allowed the new 7 candidate countries to become part of the regular projects. This third call, we just closed it a couple of weeks ago on the 7th of June. And we are happy to announce that we received 206 applications. So we hope to also have a similar amount of projects than the first and the second call. And probably this will mean that it will be the last big open call because all the funds will be allocated in this first, second, and third call. So that's it from my side, a little bit to explain the state of play of the program. Again, as Irma was saying, thank you for the first and second call projects to open up your partnerships. And we hope also that with the third call, the family of Interreg Europe projects will reach more than or almost 200 running projects. That's it. And now I pass the floor back to Irma. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Hassan, for this introduction. I think from your presentation, it's clear, like you were talking about that almost 1,500 project partners are involved in the running projects. 80% of the NATS2 regions, of all the regions in the Europe, are also already in our project within the first and the second call. And with this, we can really see that we are a big, a great community. We can benefit from each other. And that's why for the program, it was very important to think about some capitalization measures, what we can put in place. So it's my pleasure now to invite my colleague, Magda Anagnostou, who is the coordinator for the Policy Learning Platform, so that she would explain what is the second pillar. And indeed, Magda, just remembering, you were at our annual event in Antwerp. Together with Hassan, you were on the stage and you were bringing a golden treasure box to open up all the treasure, what is in this box. So please now, your task will be to give some insights what indeed is in this treasure. And for the ones who have questions or who have questions in general about the program, Hassan will be in the studio with us to answer your questions, Magda as well. So after this part, we will take your questions on board. So do not forget so that you can submit those questions via the Slido. So Magda.
Thank you very much, Irma, and good morning to everyone also from my side. I have also the pleasure today to present you the policy learning platform, and my role will be to take you through everything that we are doing and how you can contribute to this work, and most importantly also how you can benefit from it. But before I start with what, I wanted to spend a few minutes to tell you about why. So next slide, please. I wanted to say that we come back 8 years before, somewhere in 2016, when the program decided to set up this strategic initiative with a main mission to capitalize on projects. But why is it so important to capitalize on the projects? First, we put here two main reasons. There are plenty of others, but let's start with the first. It's important to say that in your projects, you are working with 6, 8, 10 regions, and you are trying to find solutions in shared regional development challenges. This may be related to environment, may be related to social issues, may be related to economic development. What is important to say, however, that what knowledge, what solutions you find, they are not only relevant for your partnership, but it can be potentially very much interested for all other European regions. You may remember, even in the application form where you submitted for your project proposal, we asked you this question: why is this issue important for European regions? Indeed, what you're working, all this knowledge is important. We want to share it. This is at the very heart of our program, to capitalize, not to reinvent the wheel, to share this knowledge. The second reason is, of course, the richness and variety of the projects. As Hassan presented, we already have approved 150 projects, and we received more applications, so there will be more projects joining. There is a variety of topics that you're dealing with, a variety of good practices, of knowledges, of results, of organizations and regional practitioners involved. Is really, as Irma mentioned, as if we were sitting on a treasure, and it would have been such a pity not to exploit this further and make it available. In the next slide, this we can see in this visual quite well. This is represented, summarized well what the platform is doing. Indeed, the platform builds mainly on the project input. And it's not only about the good practices that you identified, but also on the results and the achievements that you will have. And of course, the partners, the organizations, the people, the regional practitioners that are there and implementing the project. So the platform has a mission to benchmark this knowledge, to exploit it, and to make it available to any interested policymaker in Europe. So it's open up services for everybody. If we continue with the next slide, in a nutshell, what the platform is doing is a strategic operation of the program that is offering policy learning opportunities to anybody that is interested through access to 3 main services. If I start from the less intense to more demanding and intense, we are offering access to knowledge. Anybody can find policy solutions, good practices, and a lot of thematic publication, mainly this knowledge that comes from the projects. We are offering access to people. You can meet our community members, the regional practitioners, the policymakers that are part of the community through participation in thematic events and in webinars and other events that we organize. And the most intense is you can access expertise, you can get policy advice. Our platform experts, they operate a policy help desk and can get also from peers through peer reviews and matchmakings policy advice to find specific solutions for your policy challenges. It's important also to say here who is behind this platform. It's the program that has commissioned a team of thematic experts that you will meet later today. And they are the ones that are implementing and all these activities and services on the guidance also of the Joint Secretariat. So if we go a little bit more in the detail on the next slide, let's look a little bit concretely what means access to knowledge. We have online on our website a database of more than 3,000 good practices. Mainly, they're coming from the projects for the good practices you identify, but this is a database that is open also beyond the project. So there are certain good practices that go beyond. And our platform experts, as I said, they have as a mission to analyze, benchmark, exploit the knowledge. So they're looking at your results. They are looking on your website. They're looking at your progress reports, and they depict the most interesting results, the most interesting practices in publications, thematic publications, policy briefs, also on stories. For example, very recently, we have published digital transformation for public sector, decarbonization of heating and cooling system, or a policy brief on regional missions. We have also success stories, as I say, from your good practices. We had, for example, recently a story on open data from Veneto region. We had a story on rural innovation from Catalonia. So you can find all this knowledge on our website. If we continue, is the access to people, as we say, we have a big community. Yourselves, as you are project partners, you are part of this Interreg Europe community. It numbers more than 60,000 members. And what the platform is doing, we are organizing regularly thematic policy learning, capacity building, networking events. Twice a year, we will organize on-site thematic events, workshops that are mainly bringing you, the project partners, together. We also invite thematic networks and other policy makers, relevant policy makers, where you have the opportunity to meet with the other projects that are working on similar topics and create synergies. We also very regularly, every month, we organize webinars. These are short webinars online where we will treat topics that are of interest to you, but also what is hot, let's say, on the EU agenda. Recently, we had webinars on strategic foresight, on artificial intelligence, or co-working spaces. All this is available. Also, the recordings of the webinars are available online. The third part, the third service is the access to expertise. This, in reality, is more focused and addressed to newcomers. Of course, yourselves being part of a project, you have the opportunity within your project partnership to find solutions to work on specific shared regional development issues that you need to find solutions to improve your policies. But we would like, through the policy learning platform, to offer this opportunity for targeted support, for ad hoc cooperation, let's say, also to those organizations that they are not part of the project partnerships. So we are offering the possibility. We operate, as I mentioned before, a policy help desk. Any interested policymaker can ask a question, and our platform experts will give a written feedback. But we also organize peer reviews and matchmakings. Just a few words on what is this about. Local, regional, national organizations, public organizations, they face specific policy challenges. They will come to us and they will ask for advice. Our platform experts will open a call for relevant peers and mainly targeted to you, to project partners, and will select up to 6 peers and will go to the beneficiary, to the region that asked for help, and we'll have 2 full days, working days, to find specific solutions and give peer recommendations to help this region improve their policies. A mini, let's say the mini version of the peer review is the matchmaking sessions. We do that is 2 hours discussion, again, with selected peers, either online or on site. And of course, this is where I will come afterwards back to this, how you can contribute to this by becoming, of course, peers and sharing your knowledge. I will close here with the presentation of the services, and I will move now on to the most important, let's say, part of this event, how you can contribute to the work that we are doing with the policy learning platform and how you can benefit for it. I structure my presentation around these three services that I presented to you. So we will start with the knowledge. As we said, in the knowledge, we have the good practice database. Of course, the good practices is at the very heart of your project. So you identify the good practices and you submit them in certain moment before the end of the core phase of your project. You will be asked to submit your good practices online. You will have to describe the good practice, to give some evidence of success, to talk about the resources that you needed, and of course, identify the potential of learning and transfer. Once your good practices is submitted on the database, then it will be validated, of course, by the policy officers that are monitoring your project, and then they will end up on the desk of our platform experts. They will particularly look at what is the learning potential, the transfer potential, what are the specific features of this good practice. They will validate it, they will write an opinion, they will highlight exactly the specific features, and they will be available on the database. If we move on, what is the benefit of this? Of course, because these good practices are visible on our website, on the database, they are, as I said, expert validated, but also your organization and yourself as an author of the good practice, you will be visible. People will be able to contact you and learn more about what you have been doing on this good practice. So it's actually not only a database of good practices, but also a database of practitioners. So it's a great means of sharing the knowledge, sharing the good practices, and being visible not only with your work, but also your organization and yourself as an author and owner of this good practice. If we move on, we talked also about the policy briefs, the thematic publication, the success stories. As I said, our platform experts are looking very carefully on what you've been doing, on your results, on your achievements, on the improvements that you achieve on policies, and they depict this and they write policy briefs, they write the success stories. In reality, there is no active, I would say, or proactive, if you like, contribution on this. More are experts that will look on your website, on your progress reports, will probably come back to you sometimes. They will interview you to learn more about your work, and then they will draft the policy briefs and the stories that will be available as policy solutions on our website. If we move on, what is the benefit of it? It's quite obvious. It's a great opportunity for you to promote your achievements. And of course, you can also use these policy solutions. You can also go on online on this knowledge hub, as I said, and you can find inspiration for your project, further knowledge for your project, but also for your regions. And it's a great opportunity, of course, through this knowledge hub to increase your own knowledge and skills and capacities. If we move on now we talked about this big community, that you're part of this community. We talked about events that we are organizing very regularly. So how you contribute, first of all, by participating in these events. And on our website, you will see under the tab of events, you can go there and you can filter on the source by clicking on the platform. And then you will have an overview of all the upcoming events that are organized by the Policy Learning Platform. And of course, we would like you to participate, to be part of it. As I mentioned before, twice a year, we are doing the on-site thematic workshops that are mainly dedicated to bring the project partners together. Also on this we facilitate, of course, because when you set up your project application, you took into consideration, according to our recommendations, for your travel budget, for under your flat rate, up to 10 program events over the lifetime of the project. And we recommended back to you that we have 2 participants per project, per event of the Policy Learning Platform. So we are very much looking forward to see you on our events. If we continue, obviously, as we said, we are building on your knowledge. It's from practitioners to practitioners. We would like you to be speakers in our events, on thematic workshops, on the webinars. You will be contacted by our experts when we organize events. They will look at your projects. They will see people that are relevant on this, and they will invite you to become speakers. And of course, proactively also yourselves, you can approach our experts and participate as speakers to all these thematic events. For the on-site events, of course, the platform would like to facilitate this, and travel and accommodation will be covered directly from the platform. Yes, of course, the benefit, I think it's also obvious. First of all, you will be able to meet the other projects that are working on similar topics as you. So you're not alone within your partnership. You are not working in silo. You are part of the Interreg Europe family. So we very much initiate synergies within your projects. Recently, we had events where you shared the methodologies, regional assessment methodologies to improve your regional policy. So we try to create synergies as much as possible. Of course, you will be able to connect beyond the projects with like-minded people from all around Europe. Our events are thematic, are about policymakers. So you will meet also relevant people from the Commission, from other thematic networks, and you will be able to expand, of course, your network, your knowledge, your skills. If we move on, we talk also, the third service is about the expertise, about proposing peer reviews and matchmakings, mainly to newcomers. We have organized almost 80 peer reviews already since 2018 and more than 40 matchmakings. As I mentioned here, we select specific peers, mainly from the pool of project partners, which will bring them to the beneficiary, to the people, the region that requested help to improve a specific policy in the region, what you're doing actually in your project, but as a mini version is the peer review. And for you becoming a peer, of course, we would like also to facilitate this. We are covering the costs from the platform on travel and accommodation, and also your organization can also request some compensation for staff costs. We have foreseen a flat daily allowance for your organization to cover these costs. If I move on, why? What is the interest? Of course, you might be wondering, to sign up to become a peer. Up to now, from all the peer reviews that we had, the feedback that we got from the peers is that indeed, this is also not, we are not there as only knowledge givers, but it's a truly learning opportunity also for the peers. Is always a two-way learning, the exchange. You are not only inspire, but you can be inspired. You can influence indeed what another region will do, how they will improve their policies. Of course, you will be depicting the peer review communication material, but you will also have the insight of what others are doing, and this you can bring back this knowledge also to your project and to your region. And last but not least, as I said, our policy learning platform experts, they are operating a policy help desk. There you can use this to increase your knowledge for your project and for your region. You can ask any question, policy-related question, and our project platform experts will get back to you with the knowledge that comes from also other projects, and will provide you with information on specific policy issues. I think there is where I leave it for the moment. I hope that was clear and concise, but we have the opportunity to continue the dialogue, and I hope you pencil down all your questions. So after we finish this part of the presentation, we will open questions and answers, and we'll be happy to guide you through further on. So thank you very much for your attention. Now we go on with the video, right?
Yes, Magda, thank you very much for explaining us indeed how the policy learning platform works, and explaining what services we can offer. I think now our project partners will not be afraid when they receive an email. They know that it's either to join the thematic webinar, or maybe to read an interesting policy brief. And they know now that all those resources, indeed, a lot of valuable resources, can be found on our website. Magda, as you really gave a very nice overview, we thought with you that we will show also a short video presenting in brief and summarizing the policy learning platform. So let's have a look to this video. And after this, we'll have Hassan and then Magda in the studio to answer your questions.
Imagine if you could easily find solutions to make your region or city smarter, greener, better connected, more social, and closer to citizens. The Interreg Europe Policy Learning Platform can help you access knowledge about the latest policy trends, discover expert-validated good practices from all over Europe, find solutions in our peer review, get tailored support from our expert team. We can connect you with the right people and organizations. Together, we will find ways to solve your region's or city's challenges. Start your policy learning journey today.
The video shows already our policy learning platform team, and really, I think the key message is that it's about a policy learning journey, and you are all part of it. You are all invited to actively contribute. Now, I would like to invite my colleague Hassan because the projects they need to report in their reports about what policy learning platform activities they benefited, and I would like that Hassan you explain indeed how it is done and what things to pay attention.
Yes, thank you, Irma. So, you know, the first call projects, you have gone through already 2 progress reports. The second call will be invited here to Lille to what we call the training days, a few months before the preparation of your progress report. We will meet with you here in Lille with the lead partners mainly to explain the rationale of the reporting, what is the structure of the progress report. But basically, you will see that every partner organization in a project has this section in the report that is called the policy report, where you mainly discuss about what has been the learning exchange in your region together with your stakeholders, the involvement of the associated policy authority, and also how has been your involvement in the policy learning platform activities. So there is a specific section for you. In the past, this was only the lead partner filling this section for the whole project, but we thought that it was very interesting to receive this information for every partner organization involved in the cooperation. So every partner in the project will report about how they have contributed and benefited from the policy learning platform services in the progress report, in this policy report section every 6 months. So you can see in the screen that we will ask you if you have been involved, of course, in policy learning platform activities. How has been your contribution? If you have checked some policy briefs interesting for your topic, if you read the stories published by our experts, if you have had the opportunity to be a speaker in one of the events that the PLP organizes, or if you have been a peer. I'm mute, yes. So this is in terms of contribution, but we will also ask if you have used any of the services provided by the PLP. So if you have checked the good practices when identifying the good practices that are available in your region, if you have met any other members of the community in your project events or with your stakeholders, or if you have get any policy advice related to the content of your cooperation. And there is also this section that is very important for the program where you will have the possibility to provide suggestions. So what do you think? What topics do you think that it should be covered by the experts of the PLP? What type of activities you think that should be provided, or how to improve the services that the PLP offers to the community? This is very important because, you know, the PLP is service oriented. We are there to support, to exploit the results that come from the projects, and all your tips and ideas and suggestions are carefully read by our experts and taken into consideration when planning the next round of activities that take place every year. So this is for the policy learning platform. And in the next slide, you can see a little bit what the platform can offer. This is a summary of the different services that were explained in detail by Magda. So we can invite you to join the platform activities, you know, as speakers, as peers, to give your experience and your knowledge on a specific topic. We are there also to initiate and to facilitate synergies between projects, especially projects working on similar topics. And this happens usually during thematic workshops. These past weeks, we had the opportunity to meet different projects dealing with rural development or with energy efficiency. The experts can also advise the projects on specific thematic questions through the policy help desk. If there is some technical advice or support, or how to look for a specific information on a domain or a theme, the help desk will be also will be there to support you. And finally, as I mentioned, all these suggestions from your side that are very important to shape the different services that the colleagues of the policy learning platform provide to you. Also, in the next slide, we summarize what the platform cannot do, because, you know, as I mentioned at the beginning, the program supports two types of actions: the projects and the policy learning platform. So everything related to projects, to the design and implementation of the projects, this is usually the colleagues in the joint secretariat that are monitoring and helping you with the implementation of your project. So everything related to the assistance to applicants, the assessment of the applications, when you are implementing your project, the ones that check the progress reports and draft the clarifications before the payment of your costs is usually the colleagues in the joint secretariat. And also we organize all the events related to the exchange of experience activities on behalf of the project. So the first call when you came to Lille for the training days, or the second call that you will come to meet us soon in Lille in September, all these activities are organized by the program and not by the policy learning platform. So everything related to your project implementation is usually the colleagues in the GS, and everything related to content, to all these services that the PLP provides, is the team of experts and colleagues working for the policy learning platform. You will see that sometimes in the progress report, we when we read the contribution or how you benefited or contributed to the PLP, you sometimes put activities that are not directly organized by the PLP, like the training days or like the annual event, that even though the colleagues from the PLP are, of course, part of the organization and of the event, is usually what we call a program event and not a PLP event. So never hesitate to contact your policy officer, finance officer, or communication officer in the Joint Secretariat in Lille when it relates to assistance in the development of your project activities, and also the platform for everything related to the capitalization of your project results. In any case, never hesitate to contact one or the other. We are two teams that are part of the same program, that we work very closely together. So any request that comes our way and it's more relevant for the PLP colleagues, we will pass it to them, and vice versa. So never hesitate anytime you have a question, but we wanted to give you this slight difference between what the Joint Secretariat does and what the PLP colleagues do as well. And I think that that's it from my side, Irma.
Yes, Hassan, thank you very much for detailing and explaining, indeed, giving examples to show what should be put in the report of the project. I think now it's for everyone, it's clear that if its project activities is not related to the policy learning platform. But when we go beyond the project, when we touch the thematic topics beyond your project that's related to the policy learning platform, can be a webinar, policy brief, good practice database, participation in the peer reviews that host, etc. I think now, I hope for our team and for you that everyone will fill in the progress reports with the right information. So thank you for this. As promised, we will check what questions we have on this Slido. But before that, we will launch a poll and we'll ask you, because in this part of our webinar, of our event, you heard about the different policy learning platform services related to knowledge, people, expertise. So we thought it's time to ask you, or what service talks most with you, so that you can choose and tell us if you are interested in the knowledge to check our website, to check what good practices, what thematic publications already exist, what already was produced by the previous projects that were co-financed by the Interreg Europe program. The second answer is about people, to check if you are interested to network with the others and benefit from this large community we have. And the third one related to expertise, interested to get either support from an expert to some challenge, or to join our peer reviews or matchmaking sessions, become an expert indeed. Because the richness of the policy learning platform is that you are in the project, but there are some other regions maybe struggling with similar challenges, and they might come to the policy learning platform, might contact our experts saying, I want solution, I want to get connected, and then indeed the experts are mobilizing our community. The second question in the poll we have, it's related how many webinars you think you could join in a year. What would be a good number of the webinars for you to join? Because the policy learning platform is organizing various thematic webinars per year. And it's an online event. You don't really need a lot of resources just to connect online. Or in some cases, if the webinar is related to your topic, you might be invited to be a speaker. So let us know how many webinars you think you could join per year. We also would like to hear from you, what is the preferred time of the day to join the thematic webinars? Is it morning, is it lunchtime, or is it afternoon? If you have any preference on that. And also to let us know if you have any preference for the day, on maybe several days work best for you to attend the thematic activities, the online webinars organized by the policy learning platform. It's very important to get a feedback from you on those topics, because it's the whole team that is behind offering you those services, and knowing what are your preferences, we can then adjust our activities schedule for the upcoming editions we have planned. I can see that 65% already of all participants answered to our platform services. Magda and Hassan, we can maybe then check with you the results. We can see that in terms of the services, in knowledge, 77% of participants are interested. Also, community is very important for us. 65 are interested in the community, and also in expertise, 48. Maybe Magda, you want to comment on that?
Yes, I think it's quite impressive that people are interested in enriching their knowledge. And I want to say that indeed now, as we are running the policy learning platform for the 8th year, we have accumulated a lot of content We have obviously started with the previous programming period, so we had 258 projects in the previous programming period. So we have all these good practices, all the knowledge, the results. So it's important also that you build on this knowledge and it's not just dying somewhere. It is reused. So it is in the very heart of the program to not reinvent the wheel. So build on this knowledge. So I'm particularly happy that I see that people are still interested in looking at these policy solutions.
And good news, Magda, that we have 0 participants who told I'm not interested at all in the policy learning. Everyone is interested indeed in the policy learning platform services. Talking about the number of webinars you, our project partners, would like to join, we see that 40% say 1-2 per year would be of their interest, and 54 say 3-5 per year, and only 8% would be interested to join more than 6. Talking about the preferred time of the day to join thematic webinars, we see there is a clear preference. 77% say that it's morning, 14% afternoon, and only very, very short, small part, 8% say that they could also attend an event that is happening at the lunchtime. And about the day, we see that all days are popular. Could be Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. We could organize webinars all days. A bit more votes get Wednesday and Thursday, and Friday got 40%, and Monday 42%, Tuesday 50%. So thank you very much for answering to this very short survey. Now we will head to the Slido, and Magda and Hassan, we will see what questions we have here for you. The first one about the number of the events per project. Hassan, it could be a question for you. 10 events per project for all project partners combined. This is an information we give in the program manual as recommendation to plan or to envisage that there are events organized by the policy learning platform. So could you clarify, is it 10 events per project for all project partners combined? Hassan, we cannot hear you, so we should...
Sorry, it's my fault. I forgot to unmute. No, I was saying that this is a very interesting question. We just answered one of our first call projects this morning about this question. In the program manual, I think that is in section 733. There is more information about this, what is expected from the project partners. Usually it's 10 events per project. And here we do not only count the events organized by the Policy Learning Platform, but also the events organized by the program. So you will be invited to the annual event that takes place, last time it was in Antwerp in March. You will be invited, for example, to the training days here in Lille before preparing your first progress report. Sometimes we might ask you, because the Commission would like to have an example of a project in one of their events, like the Energy Week or the RIS3 Regions for Knowledge event. So we might invite you to participate. And of course, all the Policy Learning Platform events, meaning usually could be either online or physical. So today is one event that you can count for these 10 events. And there will be, of course, the thematic seminars or webinars or other events that the PLP might organize. So yeah, this is more or less an estimation. We want to make sure that there is no problem of later on of budget. So we ask you to take into consideration that this is the expectation of the program. And yes, this is at project level. So it might have different, but usually in some cases, we will only invite the lead partner or 2 or 3 representatives per project, because sometimes it depends on the logistics, on the capacity of the venue. But there are other online events that, of course, all the partners will be invited. But yes, between 8 and 10 events is the average that we expect you to be involved at program level and also the PLP events.
Thank you, Hassan. A question, Magda, for you. Good practice database, over 3,300 good practices are published now. Is there a keyword function to find the good practices?
Of course. Yes, thank you for this question. Indeed, when you go on our website under the section Policy Solutions and you can enter there the good practice database, you can search by keyword. So you can say circular economy, you can write the topic that you're interested in, and you find all the relevant good practices. Just to mention that there are also certain filters there that you can use. You can filter by topic, by specific objective. You can filter by country. You can also filter by project and by programming period. As I say, we started this good practice database through the previous programming period. So you can filter 14-20 or 21-27. And of course, by a keyword. So yes, it's quite easy to navigate and to find the good practices that are relevant for you. And you also have a map, so you will be able to visualize where the good practices are.
Magda, it was a very good teaser. I am curious now myself immediately to go to the good practice database and to test all the filters we have worked on. Next question related to the good practices, also for you. How is the process of assessment of the good practices done on the Joint Secretariat side? Is it possible to make some changes after the feedback received?
Yes. Thank you also for this question. It's quite important. Indeed, when you submit your good practices, the first validation step is through your web administrator. So first, your web administration that you have in your project will check that the information makes sense and that everything is there. Then once it is validated by your web administration, it will already be visible on your project website. In parallel, it will go to the desktop of our policy officers, the policy officers that they are following and monitoring your project, and they will assess if everything is well evidenced, if the good practice is relevant, and it is a policy level. Sometimes we get also good practices that are not really relevant, they're not on policy level. So they will check this and they will provide you some feedback. Either it will be directly validated, so you can also submit it, report it back on your progress reports, or they will ask you to improve certain information which is not clear or needs further details. Then the practice is locked. It is validated and it goes to the desktop of the platform expert, who then will look, as we said, more on the learning potential, on the transfer potential, on the specific features, will write an opinion and validate it to become part of the program good practice database. Now, you're talking specifically if some changes can be done. We have not foreseen to do this. And we would not advise, even if it would be possible to edit, that would have opened the Pandora's box. So once the good practice is validated, normally there are no further changes done. But we make sure that all the information is relevant. And as we have all these steps, we make sure that everything that is online is valid and updated.
Thank you, Magda, for clarifying this. The last question we're taking in this part, and very important question for you. What is the latest date during the project lifetime to apply for a peer review? I think it's also a good moment for you to clarify if peer review is really a core service for the project.
Indeed, thank you very much. I didn't mention it on purpose on my presentation. I was expecting this question. As I said, the whole logic of the peer reviews is to help newcomers. As you are a part of a project partnership, you already have the opportunity to work on the specific policy, regional development policy issue that you are looking to improve. So in principle, the peer reviews are not for project partners, they are for newcomers. As we say, you as project partners, you will become peers. However, of course, you are part of an organization. There are different departments working on different topics. So per se, you are not ineligible, you are eligible to apply for a peer review, but we make sure that this is not on the specific topic that you are working on your project. You understand that you have your consortium, there is the forum where you will find your solutions on your project. So if there is another topic that your department or another department of your organization is working and you would like some support from the policy learning platform to find solutions through this targeted tailored 2 days workshop, then of course you are able to submit an application, and very welcome to submit an application for a peer review. So it is completely detached from your project lifetime, the peer review request.
Thank you, Magda. Thank you, Magda, for clarifying this. Thank you to you and Hassan for answering all the questions we had on the Slido. Now we will move to the next part of our event. Magda and Hassan, Magda stays with us till the very end of the webinar. So if there are any questions, do not hesitate to submit them on the Slido. We will be there also to answer them at the end of the webinar. Now, Hassan and Magda talked about the policy learning platform. I think we realized that there are many activities that are behind this initiative by the program. And for sure, there is a dedicated team behind the policy learning platform services. We have Thorsten as the lead manager. We have 2 thematic managers, Antoine and Elena, who can wave to me. We have Karine, Mario, Vladimir, Valentin working in administration, in communication, making sure that all events, peer reviews are well organized and reach you. So it's a big team. And we also have many thematic experts that are there with us, supporting you to capitalize all the knowledge. And in this, and now I would like to invite Elena Ferrario, our thematic manager, who will introduce to the team of our excellent team of our experts. And then after this exercise, we will together head to some networking rooms so that we can meet and talk with all the team and between the project. So Elena, hello, good morning.
Hello everybody. Good morning, Irma.
Yes, so the floor is yours to introduce your great team.
Yes, thank you so much, Irma. Okay, so my part is very brief today because indeed, as Irma said, you will be able to meet our thematic experts in a few minutes in the breakout rooms, and you will be able to exchange with them, to talk to them directly. But I think it's also nice to show that we are indeed quite a big team, I would say. It's about 20 people. And maybe, Maria, you can show this first slide with all the faces of our team. Thank you so much. So as Irma said, indeed, there are people working in administration, our other colleagues working with the communication part. So many of us, of course, belong to this team. But somehow the soul, the main element of the team is, of course, in the hands of our thematic experts. And these experts are there. The vast majority of them, I have to say, are working for us since more than 5 years now, even more, 6 or 7 years, basically since the start of the platform. They know very well Interreg Europe. They are really believers of interregional cooperation, and they know very well also what it means to work on the ground with territorial policies, the challenges that you as practitioners of the development policies face every day in your work. And this is, I think, the strength also of our team that is there really to listen to your challenges, to try to match as much as possible your need with the resources, with the wealth of knowledge that Magda was mentioning earlier, in order to try and give you some useful input to solve your policy challenges. So we can start with, first, our colleagues belonging to the Smarter Europe policy objective. They like to call themselves the smart team, but actually everybody is smart in this team. So Mark, Arnaud, Laura, René, Martin, Luc, they are the ones, if you participants belong to projects that are working on Smarter Europe teams, they are the ones that basically will contact you, and they are the ones that read your progress report, that look into your newsletters and news on your website, and basically look into your good practices and try to exploit as much as possible the knowledge that comes from you, from your projects, from your partners. So research and innovation capacities, S3, SME support, competitiveness in the industrial transition, all these topics are in the hands of our team of 6 people. Then we can move on to the greener Europe team that is also working on more connected Europe. Katarina, Simon, Astrid and Magda, you will see them because they have a specific color in the background. So I don't see everybody, but they are most of them are here anyway. So you can wave maybe so that everybody can see you. And this team is involved in all topics related to energy, renewables, but also mobility, the TEN-T corridors, and everything that is also environment, so climate change, biodiversity, the circular economy, and water and waste and resilience. So all these topics are in the hands of Katarina, Simon, Astrid, and Magda. Then we can move on to our social team. As you know, this topic is rather new to Interreg Europe. We only started with this topic since this current programming period. But we are starting already to have some very interesting good practice, and we have already organized a number of events online and on site on this topic, this group of topics, with Eric, with Mart, and with Luc, who basically are working both on smart and on social. As you may know, many of the topics related to regional development are somehow cross-cutting across big policy objectives. So this is also one of the reasons why some of our experts are working in parallel on different policy objectives. Maybe we can move on to our citizens team, represented by Arnaud and Astrid here. Thank you for also changing your background. Under the citizens, so Europe closer to citizens, Astrid and Arnaud are dealing with everything that is related to integrated territorial development, both in urban and non-urban territories. And finally, the last policy objective of Interreg Europe is governance. And here, the main reference, somehow, members of the team are Torsten and myself. But actually, this is a rather cross-cutting type of topic. So you will see that in rather many cases, several of our experts are involved in this policy objective because it touches upon a number of different topics that are more thematic oriented. So I think this is our team of thematic experts. And I think Irma can give you back the floor.
Okay. Great. I can see that everyone is back now in the main room. So welcome back. I hope that you had really great discussions with our thematic experts, with the other projects that were joining your room. I can see Magda and I can see Elena. They are back for the final concluding words. Normally it will take another 5, maximum 7 minutes for us to close this webinar. For the final part, I would like to ask my colleagues to launch the final poll where you will be able to give us feedback on this webinar and to tell how satisfied you were, what did it meet your expectations, and also if you have any recommendations, please let us know. And for the final conclusions, first I would like to ask Magda, how was the discussion in the thematic room? Magda?
Very interesting discussions. We We went through what has been already produced under social issues, and we listened from the participants' needs. So we collected ideas for upcoming activities. So thank you very much for contributing to this discussion.
And Elena, how was it in your room?
Yes, it was very nice as well. Unfortunately, we didn't manage to do everything that we had planned to, but there will be certainly more opportunities in the future.
Yes, Elena, indeed, you represent the policy, you both represent the policy learning platform, and in the upcoming, indeed, minutes, you will present what are those upcoming opportunities. But first, I give a word to Magda. Magda, for you, for the final concluding words, please let us know what the main things we need to take with us at the end of this online event.
Thank you. Indeed, one thing that it's important to remember is that the policy learning platform is building on your knowledge, on your expertise, on your results, on your good practices. So it's not an exaggeration to say that without you, the policy learning platform does not exist. You are the fuel for all our activities. So just if we can remind with the slide, which are the three things that we are doing? Three things. We are giving access to knowledge. We have the good practice database and thematic publication. We are giving access to people, the big community. We organize policy learning, capacity building, networking events, and we are giving access to expertise, meaning we are proposing tailored recommendation, policy advice for specific needs, regional needs through matchmaking, peer reviews, and operating a help desk. This is quite important. And two other things I would like to mention for concluding, some novelties. If we pass to the next slide, please. Yes, we launched very, very recently, a few weeks ago, collections. This is on our website. We group the most relevant content under a specific topic, which was handpicked by our thematic experts, and we put it online for you. So, for example, we have the first collections on digitalization of the public sector, renewable energy communities, and nature-based solutions. These are, you will go on these pages through the main entry of the topic. If we go to the next slide, please. So on our first page on our website, under our topics, you will find explore the topics, and you will find these collections where you have all the content related to a specific topic. And the last thing I wanted to mention on the next slide, again, a novelty. It's not there, okay, I will just mention it, about the editorials. We have short articles on a specific topic which is high in the EU agenda. And we have an opinion of our experts, a short article. You can find them under the news. Recently, we published on floods, on artificial intelligence, on unaffordable housing. So very interesting news for you to keep updated with the policy updates and trends. That's it on my side.
Thank you very much, Magda. I think it's great to see that the policy learning platform, it's a living organism, and that really it's always Elena with the team and you also as the coordinator. We always look into what is needed on the ground, what are the latest policy trends, and like this, it's the way to correspond to what is happening in the regions, produce the policy briefs, offer the thematic webinars, and also it's great to see, being myself also part of the team, that we are also looking on how to improve our users' experience, as the website is a very, very important part of the platform's public facing. And it's a good example you showed about the thematic pages. An invitation to everyone, as it's the new project we're launching. If you see there should be any developments, do not also hesitate to drop us a line and to express your wish on what things could be improved. But already this is a big step forward. So now it's very easy to click on the topic and get all the resources related to this specific topic. Elena, now the floor is to you. I promise to everyone that you will let us know what are the upcoming events and how to get engaged. What is coming up? What are the next events, activities on the Policy Learning's platform agenda?
Sure. So again, very briefly, because this is just a very brief overview, and there will be much more to come actually, but we wanted to maybe highlight for you 4 new thematic workshops that we will organize in autumn, so after the summer, that cover some of the topics that you have highlighted as among the most important ones. And when I say you, for us, it's very important because we really try as much as possible to shape the agenda of our events, of any activity of the platform, based on your input. And we do that by collecting your need, your wishes through a number of tools, phone calls, messages, emails, but also a very important element, which is called the Make-A-Wish survey. It is a survey that you will receive once per year, where we ask you to give us your wishes on which topic you would like to see treated by the Policy Learning Platform. And on the basis of the results of this survey, we really shape basically the agenda of the platform. So we treat one or the other topic depending on your answer to this survey. So for autumn, we are looking into industrial transformation, university-industry collaboration. We are looking into sustainable tourism and energy communities. I don't know if you have participated already in some of our workshops. So these are in-person, physical workshops. This is always a moment where we try to make the exchange as live, as interactive as possible, and our objective is always that you come back with something that you have learned really, and you have worked with the others, and you have met people, and this is extremely important to build the community. We have also a number of other online events. If you can go to the next slides. So webinars that are upcoming. One is already set in terms of dates, and I warmly invite you to register to this one, 5th of September, on sustainability governance. This is also very important because it's a kind of a cross-cutting topic that may be of interest to all of you, not only the projects that are somehow under the umbrella governance, but any other, because we are talking about sustainable development goals that are really basically cross-cutting across all subjects. So do not hesitate to register for this one. But you also see that we have a number of other events that are upcoming. How do you receive specific information on these events? You will get invitations via emails. You will see, if you are into social media, you will see that we promote them in social media. And of course, on our website, as Irma mentioned, we also have them on our web, like a main page, whenever there is a moment, whenever there is a registration possibility for you. Last part for me, next slide, is about our peer reviews. So as Magda mentioned before, you are extremely, very warmly welcome to participate as peer in our peer reviews. You see that we have a number already upcoming. This is our plan for the end of the year, till the end of the year, 2024. We are going to Italy, Spain, Sweden, France, etc., discussing a number of subjects. I think you will find some of them that may be of interest to you. And what happens if you belong to a project that is somehow tackling one or the other of these topics? You will receive from one of our thematic experts an email that is called Call for Peers. And with this email, you will be asked, you will be invited to become a peer in one or more of these peer reviews. You basically need to simply fill in a very short survey, and then our experts will see if your competence, your expertise, your knowledge match the need that comes from the organizations that you see listed in this slide. And you will be called to participate in a peer review as peer. So 2 days fully dedicated to discussing one of these subjects. Extremely interesting, of course, for the beneficiary, but extremely interesting also for the peers. I remind that this is a service that is normally very well perceived by our beneficiaries. So please consider joining us as peer. Thank you, Irma. That's it on my side.
Thank you Thank you very much, Elena and Magda. I have good news for you. We don't have any questions, additional questions on Slido, so you are free for today. Thank you very much for your contribution, also to my colleague Hassan and to all the experts that were contributed to run this webinar, as well as to the communication team, who were the people who were behind the scenes: Marie, Petra, Hannah, Vladimir, Julie, also Mario from the project side, who also invested a lot of time to prepare all the content. So thank you to all of you. For the last reminders for everyone to stay tuned for more information, for the latest updates from our program. You can follow our news and events on our website. A very good tip also for all of you to subscribe to our newsletter. Then each month you will get an update on what's coming up from the program, in terms of the events, in terms of some activities that the program is organizing. And also, you should never hesitate to get in touch with us. You can find the contacts of our team in case you have questions related to the project implementation. You get in touch with your policy and finance officers at the Joint Secretariat. In case you have thematic questions beyond your project, are eager to join some of the peer reviews, you should not hesitate to reach out our policy learning platform team. So thank you to all of you who were very actively participating in this webinar, a webinar which indeed was not a typical webinar where we are just talking. It was all about you, the policy learning platform. The policy learning platform, which offers the insight to all the knowledge, which offers the contacts, which offers experts. And this is all what we could experience during today's policy learning platform meetup with the project. I think the main takeaways is that the program is full of knowledge. It's you who is contributing to create this knowledge. It's all about people, and we need to remember that we are a strong community of over 1,500 organizations coming for projects, more than thousands of organizations beyond the projects. And as the Interreg Europe is the capacity building program, we are there to benefit from each other experience and to help to each other. It's also about expertise. Being in a project, you gain your expertise. So you and the policy learning platform offer for you via the peer reviews to become also an expert and to stay in this pool and to share this knowledge. So this is all what Interreg Europe as the program is. And it's time for us to thank to all of you for being part of our program, for all the contributions you did so far, and for all the contributions you will be doing. So hope you learned about the policy learning platform services and you will be benefiting from this. With this, we finish our day and we hope to see you in the upcoming policy learning platform activities. Bye-bye.
Thank you.